If you've ever wanted to see justice served to someone who thought they could get away with hurting others, then hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. This all happened back in the before times, when the internet was still this shiny new playground, and not the black hole of memes and chaos it is today. I was fresh in junior college, trying to keep my head above water, balancing classes and a part-time student job in the administration office. Around that time, I moved in with my girlfriend. Let's call her Lucy. Rent was cheaper if we split it, and honestly, we just wanted to spend more time together. Life felt good, comfortable, like things were falling into place. One night, Lucy said she'd invited a friend over for game night. Her name's Sarah, she told me. I shrugged. Sounded fun. We added a couple of our other friends to the mix. Snacks were piled high. The laughter was loud, and the dice rolled late into the night. And here's the twist. I already knew Sarah. We'd gone to high school together. Not best friends, not even close, but familiar enough to say, hey, and instantly click. From that night on, Sarah became a regular. Dinners, movies, game nights. She was part of the crew. But sometimes, she'd bring her boyfriend. Let's call him Jay. From the moment Jay walked in, something was off. He sat stiff, shoulders tight like coiled springs. He barely spoke. When he did, it dripped with irritation, like just being there was beneath him. He didn't laugh at the jokes, didn't join the games, didn't engage in conversation. It was like watching someone carry a thundercloud into your living room. No one enjoyed his presence, but we kept inviting him out of politeness to Sarah. Thankfully, he only showed up 2 or 3 times before finding excuses to bail. Good riddance, right? I thought so, until one night, everything changed. My phone buzzed late one evening. It was Lucy, her voice tight with worry. Sarah's coming over. She's crying. Just please be nice. When Sarah walked through the door, she looked broken. Red, swollen eyes, shoulders trembling. And then she told us why. Jay had accused her of cheating. Not with me, not with Lucy. He didn't even specify. Just this blanket accusation dripping with paranoia. He yelled. He hurled every disgusting name in the book at her. And when she tried to leave, he shoved her. She stumbled backwards, hit a coffee table, and landed hard enough to bruise her back and hip. I'll never forget the look on Lucy's face when she whispered to me later, "It's bad." She showed me the bruise. It's huge. Sarah, bless her, insisted it was an accident, that Jay wasn't that guy, that it had never happened before. But I knew this wasn't an accident, and my blood, I wanted to storm over to his apartment, to knock on his door, grab him by the collar, and teach him what it feels like to be shoved around. But here's the thing. I've never been in a fight in my life. I'm a big guy, sure, but not violent. That's not me. Still, I couldn't let this go. I couldn't just sit back while my friend suffered because of some insecure, controlling jerk. So I did something far worse than punching him. I ruined his future. At the time, I worked in the administration building, student employee. Nothing glamorous, but I had access. I could pull up anyone's student records, fees, schedules, ID numbers. And suddenly, that access became a weapon. The deadline to drop or add classes without penalty was coming up. I stared at my computer screen, Jay's records glowing in front of me, and a plan so diabolical I almost scared myself took shape. Why break his nose when I could break his entire semester? On the very last day to change schedules, I walked into work with a pounding heart and sweaty palms. My mind kept replaying Sarah's tears, that bruise, her shaking voice. It fueled me. I picked up the dedicated enrollment phone. This was back before online class scheduling was standard, and dialed in. Step 1. I dropped every single one of Jay's classes, wiped his entire schedule clean. Step 2. I filled that schedule with every course I could find that had an extra fee attached. Lab fees, materials fees, you name it, I added it. And here's the kicker. As a foreign student, Jay needed a certain number of enrolled units to stay in the country legally. With one phone call, I might have ended not just his semester, but his visa. I hung up, adrenaline coursing through me like fire. No one knew. No one could trace it. And Jay, he had no idea what just hit him. The beauty of revenge is in the payoff. And oh, this payoff was sweet. Sarah came by a few days later, still shaken but starting to rebuild. She mentioned she was nervous because she had an English class with Jay on Tuesdays. She didn't want to see him. But then she told us what happened. She walked into class. Jay was there, standing. No desk, no chair. Just standing awkwardly in the back. And there was another student in his usual seat. The professor noticed the overcrowding and took roll. One by one, names were called. Students answered. The list moved down. Then silence. Jay's name was missing. He wasn't on the roster. He tried to argue, voice raised, but the professor shut him down cold. If you're not on my list, you're not in my class. Sarah told us she never saw him in that classroom again. I never dug too deep after that. I didn't want this traced back to me. But curiosity got the better of me a while later, and I checked his records again. The classes with fees? Gone. His entire schedule? Empty. Did he get kicked out of school? Did he get deported? I'll never know for sure. But I know this. Sarah never had to share another classroom with him again. And for me, that was enough. Sometimes I think maybe I went too far. Maybe I nuked his life when a punch to the jaw would have done the trick. But then I remember Sarah's tears, her bruise, her fear, and I know he got exactly what he deserved. Because you can mess with me all you want, but mess with my friends, you're finished. The moment Jay realized he wasn't on that class roster, that he had no power, no defense, no seat, was pure poetic justice. He wanted control. He wanted to dominate. Instead, he was erased. Out of the class, out of Sarah's life, and maybe even out of the country. Revenge doesn't always have to be loud or violent. Sometimes the most powerful justice comes quietly, behind the scenes, with a single phone call that changes everything. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And of course, don't forget to subscribe, because more stories like this are coming your way.